We win baseball.
The world's a better place because you're here to join us. My name's Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it's time to talk some baseball. Here is the beginning of our various productive conversations during the 2026 Major League Baseball season. And I got the great Alec Reeves back with me in the building to talk all things baseball. Alec, what the fuck is good? It's great to see you back in this feed, bro.
Yes, sir, Matt. Thank you for having me back on, man. It's been a while. It's been too long since we've talked shop, talked ball. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. Baseball is back in gear. Only a couple weeks in, but hey, lot to digest so far, Matt. But yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's been a while since we've done a pod, so I'm thankful to be back and break down some of these early season teams, man, and see what's going on.
We're about to go in for a ride, my dude. I'm excited. It's going to be a great season. And let us in 6 months from now talk about a Yankees World Championship. But until then, we'll talk about the rest of the league, of course. And before we get into the fun, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at ProdCobblePod, TikTok at ProdCobblePod, Facebook at Productive Conversations, and check us out always on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. Busy week on the Productive Conversations podcast. We now have available a reaction to the Masters. Shouts to Rory McIlroy, back-to-back Masters after not winning one for 17 years. Scotty Scheffler made a push. Justin Rose blows it again, and it's
Unbelievable.
Rory on top again. How about that, Alec? Rory McIlroy, back-to-back.
Unreal, man. I'm happy for him. He earned it, man. I thought he might choke there because he gave up a pretty big lead. I think he was what was he 11 under par through 3 rounds.
Yes, he was up by 6 strokes at one point.
Yeah, so I'm happy. I'm happy that he won. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the Masters. Um, Normally I'll tune in just for the tail end of the Sunday round at the Masters, but unfortunately I did not see any of that. But I do know that Rory won his second back to back. So there's only been four golfers in PGA history to win back to back Masters, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Lindor, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger. Now Rory's part of that bunch.
Yeah, that's a historic group of golfers to be a part of. So I'm happy for Rory, man. He earned it. I didn't like I said though, I did not get a chance to see. Was it neck and neck at the last couple holes there or what?
At one point, it was almost a three. It was going to be 3-player playoff with Rory, Scotty, and Justin Rose, but ultimately
Yeah.
he pulled it off. Cameron Young made a push too, but Rory's the
Mhm.
one on top. So shouts to him, and you could check out us discussing the reaction to the Masters on Productive Conversations. And then also on Tuesday, we have our normally scheduled tweet cap, which we talk about what was trending this past weekend in sports, news, entertainment, and culture. And back at it on Friday as we talk about what is about to be trending in sports, news, entertainment, and culture. So, and on Tuesday, we have a preview of the NBA playoffs that begins. Me and Faces do that. Let's go Knicks. Knicks and Hawks, the 3 seed and the 6 seed. That's the one I care about the most, but
Yeah,
hopefully they
yeah.
make a deep run this year and finish this story, the New York Knickerbockers.
They're playing the Hawks for sure.
Yes, for sure. Confirmed. So fuck people like
Wow.
Jalen Johnson and CJ McCollum and
Mm.
Nicholas Alexander. It's a weird name, but he's probably winning the sixth man of the year. Not Gildress Alexander, but we'll just go with Nicholas Alexander. I forget his
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
middle name. But
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but
they're out here. Walks are definitely on the rise, but let's stop them. So there you go. Lots of stuff going on. It's April. Good things ahead. But now let's switch
Mhm.
gears. Let's talk all things baseball. Alec, let's talk about our New York Yankees, our beloved New York Yankees first.
Oh, geez. Yeah, yeah.
So let me break this down, Alec. Our first discussion of our first baseball discussion for 2026
Yep.
is getting this ready. So The Yankees came into 2026 looking like the AL East, the best team in the AL East. They
Yep.
started out 8-2 out of the gate, and then overnight things crashed, bro. They've lost
Yeah.
5 in a row, just got swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. Nobody's hitting at all. The bats showed up a little bit on Sunday, but it was too late, wasting an actually solid Cam Slitler performance. But yeah, they are now 8-7, only a game above 500. They're now tied for first. And hear this, the offense is broken for some reason, bro. They're hitting 199 as a team. That's 29th out of 30 baseball teams. Only the Seattle Mariners are worse at this moment.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And during this 5-game losing streak, they're batting 142 as a team, just 6 extra base hits, and Aaron Judge, bro, has been struggling, only batting 210 during this stretch. And then here are some people who have concerning numbers. Jose Caballero only batting 146 with an OPS of 384. Austin Wells only batting 154. Trent Grisham 133. Ryan McMahon 114, dude.
Ooh, that's gross. Yeah.
And our ace Max Fried, he struggled against the Rays this weekend, and yeah, shit
Yeah.
isn't looking good,
He
bro.
struggled a little bit, but granted, he's been excellent in his first 2 starts. His
True.
first 2 starts, I think he was 2-0 with a 0 ERA. Um, so yeah, I
But
get
had a
it.
little bump in the road. But Alec, before
You
we hit
hit it.
on Jazz Chisholm, for what I brought to you right now, struggling offense, bullpen isn't trustworthy, losing to teams you should beat. How we feeling about the Yankees for the first couple of weeks right now?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I mean, like you said, they started hot. It's a long season. But it sucks when you start really hot. You look great. Defense looks good. You're hitting enough. The offense all season never really has gotten going yet. With that being said, the pitching is what was absolutely incredible early on. The first 2 or 3 series when we opened up against who would we open up again? It wasn't Miami, was it? No,
San
you guys.
Francisco Giants.
Yeah, the Giants. Yeah, so I mean that series, the Miami Marlins series was a good one, and obviously Seattle as well. Those series, the pitching was really, really good. Um, and then the hitting has always been kind of mediocre, but the pitching has now started to fall behind a little bit. And when
Mm.
the hitting isn't there, it shows, and you're losing these games 3-2, 2-0, not 1-0. I don't think, or did we lose to the A's 1-0?
Yeah, there was one game lost 1-0.
Yeah, so
These one-run games, they've already lost 6 one-run games, Alec. 0 and
that is
6 to
concerning.
start this season in one-run games.
Yeah, see, that's really concerning. But you can't point your finger, in my opinion, at the starting pitching. The bullpen has been okay. The offense has been, the biggest glaring issue so far. Judge hasn't really, been hitting like he normally does. Stanton
Mm.
started hot. He's cooled off a little bit. But really, Matt, I think the biggest concern with the Yankees is the bottom of the order. McMahon,
Yeah, bro is
Austin
lost. He's
Wells.
striking out all the fucking time. I showed you that clip during
Ah,
the Rays on Sunday where they intentionally walked Trent Grisham, knowing
yeah,
McMahon was going to be up, putting the potential leading run in.
yeah.
He still
That's, I
struck out.
mean,
That's just brilliant managing, honestly. That's
it,
ballsy managing, but it wound up
yeah.
looking good.
Yeah, no, I think it's a smart move the way McMahon's been swinging the bat. I mean, who wouldn't want to pitch to him with the game on the line? He's kind of been awful. I think he's got 4 hits all season and 35 at bats or something. I think what was he 4 for 35 going into that at bat tonight?
Yeah.
And he swings at the first pitch and hits a little weak ground ball to first base. Yeah, I mean, and Volpe, I mean, keep in mind, Caballero is filling in for Volpe, and we got Rosario, we got to give credit to Rosario though for that win the other
Yeah.
night. I mean, shit, dude, you
Haven't
look at
won
the
since, but
Yankees.
it was great. Since.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 home runs. He's not a starter. It was a cold game in the Bronx against the A's on a Tuesday night, and Amid Rosario hits 2 home runs, drives in like 5 or 6 runs. The Yankees win the game. in a game that they had no business winning. In these games, you kind of, as a Yankees fan, I feel like over the years we get used to, maybe being behind, 3-1 or 4-2 late in a game, and Judge or somebody will come up and just will hit home runs and we end up winning, 5-3 or something. But that just hasn't been happening. The power isn't really there right now. And, like you said, we'll get to Jazz because some comments he's made are just a little bit troubling for me. I love the guy, but he has just made some stupid things to the media that, to me, you don't say in New York. Maybe if you're playing in Miami, nobody cares, but in New York, the
He's putting
media
a
just
target on his back.
yeah, the media just eats you alive. But yeah, man, I think the hitting's just been the biggest concern, and hopefully they'll straighten it out. But it is funny how you go from 7-2, being like 4 games up, to now your lead is gone. You're in second place.
Yeah, tied with the
And
Orioles and Rays at this moment.
yeah, yeah, and there's no need to sound any alarms. We're still a fine team with a lot of potential, but the hitting has been questionable for sure.
And you don't want to take your sweet time because these games could be the difference of winning a division, not winning a
Yeah,
division, playing in
of
the wild
course.
card round, all of
Right.
that.
Or hosting a playoff game or
Yep.
not, going on the road, and we know the Yankees are much better at home, like most teams are. Uh, so yeah, obviously every game matters. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's just a bad series against the Rays, because we have lost 5 in a row now. We've lost, I believe, 2 or 3 consecutive series.
Yep.
Um, and besides the first 2 series of the season, the Yankees really haven't looked like the better team in a lot of these wins. They kind of got just sneaking by against
Yeah.
Miami. Miami's a really good, scrappy young team, though, and they're going to be a problem for a lot of teams. But it's just troubling that they've lost 5 in a row now, and our lead's gone.
This week at the stadium, they're going to go on a big road trip. They are going to take on the LA Angels, for what that's worth, and then the Royals. A good
Okay.
chance to make up some ground. Royals that's going to be a good series this weekend, but
Yeah.
the Angels, you're going to have a 4-game homestand, and you got to start getting ready for this even on Monday right away. You
Well, they
can't.
have they have 7 home games. I'm looking in a row now.
Yeah, then they go out of the road against Boston, Houston, and Texas, which is going to be a tough road trip even this early in the season.
I agree. I think that road trip, is going to be really tough. Boston's always going to play the Yankees tough, but Houston and Texas are two good ball clubs. Two good AL West teams that both have a chance to win that division. I mean, I think Seattle is the favorite for sure, but the AL West is no joke. I mean, the Angels are not a bad team. Yes, they're bottom half of the AL team, but we don't really know early in the season what these teams could end up with records come October. Um, but yeah, I think that'll be an interesting homestand against Mike Trout and the Angels, and then Bobby Witt and the Royals coming to the Bronx.
Hmm. So somebody's better step up, especially this man, Jazz Chisholm. Oh man, Jazz Chisholm. Let me break this down from the excuses and the false promises, bro. Jazz Chisholm, your second baseman for the Yankees.
Hmm.
Where do I begin? From the 50-50 promise he said this year before the season. Jazz declared he wanted to go 50-50, win the AL MVP, and have a 10 war. And he said he'd be looking for a $35 million a year contract, as this is a contract year for him. He said, quote, I know I could get 35 million somewhere else if it need be. That is a high bar to set. So
Yeah.
when bro's been struggling both on the field and in the batter's box, well, shit hits the fan from this. When the bats were struggling, Jazz came out and said, it's cold. It's literally all it is. It's hard to function when you can't feel the bat. Even though he added to that, quote, I'm not using that as an excuse. As soon as the weather heats up, I heat up. which he said something similar last year. But
Right,
I
right.
mean, this is how he started his year, bro. He's batting 194 at this moment with a 278 OPS, 0 home runs, and a WAR of 2.6. And I mean, it's going to
He
be
does
cold in
not
October.
he does not have a WAR of 2.6.
Or sorry, he has a what's this? What am I reading this?
There's no way he has a
Walk rate
WAR.
walk rate from a 10.9, he's down to a walk rate of 2.6. Sorry, I misread
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're good. I was just gonna say there's no way he's got a WAR that high this early, because
Right.
that'd be an insanely good WAR this
Yeah,
early.
yeah,
Wins
it'd be
above
like
a
0.26, I thought. But
right.
adding to this though, bro, with Jazz's struggles and his promises, and it's gonna be cold in October, maybe
Of
even
course.
colder. And
Of
then
course. Yeah.
this thing, bro. Saturday night, game
Mhm.
is tied, bottom of the 10th. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Jazz fields a ground ball, and he didn't tag the runner. He didn't start a double play, and they ultimately won. The Rays ultimately won on a walk-off soon after that. In his post-game explanation, bro, quote, I don't know what the rule is. If I went to first base, if I went to first base first and threw it back to second, it's an out. But even little leaguers know you have to tag the runner first and then get that force play. And
Of course.
Aaron Boone did defend him. He said, quote, he's not dumb. He's not confused. I think that's kind of his default answer when he gets reporters in front of him. But
Yeah.
yeah, bro, Jazz has been ass. And by the way, the OPS, I said it was 0.483. No home runs yet, 3 RBIs,
Mhm.
and driving all of us nuts as Yankee fans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alec, let me know how you feel about Jazz Chisholm right now.
Yeah, Matt, I think, the comments he made after the game were just, they were really stupid. I don't know, some people might say he's trolling. I think he comes off that way is, almost like not caring or understanding, the basics of baseball, basic rules, which when the bases are loaded, there's a force out at any base when there's less than 2 outs in a tie game. Obviously, that runner at third is the winning run. You have to either cut that run down, but if there's 1 out, you have a chance there to make a double play, and obviously he didn't. But I will admit, Matt, I didn't watch the whole game. I didn't even watch that live, and I noticed that Cody Bellinger was playing slightly off the mound, blocking Jazz's view. Now, the only thing I could do to defend Jazz on that specific play is mention that they had brought Bellinger. I don't know who else they brought into the infield, but they brought some outfielders into the infield in order to try to prevent a bunt situation, a squeeze play, right? You've seen that at many levels in baseball. So basically, you're gonna take one of your outfielders, you're gonna put them on the infield,
Yeah.
and you're gonna try to cut down that run at the plate. If a guy lays a bunt down and that runner from third sprinting for home, you're adding Bellinger. So imagine you lay a bunt down to the right of the pitcher's mound and there's nobody there. Jazz isn't getting that ball. So the only thing I will say to defend Jazz is that Bellinger was blocking his view of the ball. It chopped to him, and he didn't handle it cleanly. The run scores, game's over. But the way he approached that after the media, take accountability. Say I should have made that play, or just say, hey, listen, I didn't have a good view of the baseball. That's all you got to say. I mean, shit, dude. He's out here, blaming the weather. Oh, I didn't know. The thing is, you're sitting there fixing your earring, playing with your jewelry. Like, dude, at least have the balls to sit there and be like, "Well, I
Face
made a
that
mistake."
camera.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Say
care
what
about.
up.
I would just say, "Hey, man, take some accountability for that." And when you're not hitting, it sucks. And in a way, he put a target on his own back for promising the world, so to speak. Right? First, it was the World Baseball Classic. Oh, we're gonna shock the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna shock the
Remember
world, my
that.
man. You're gonna shock the world by going like 1 for 28 with like 18 strikeouts. And and then your team's gonna get blown out in every game. You know, I love Jazz. I love his energy. I love his positivity, but he's playing in New York now, and he'll just get eaten alive by the media. And I want him to
and its own
succeed.
fans. And people are gonna come at him with the OnlyFans fiance he has too. Not that
Yeah, but
that's
dude,
relevant, but it's like
it's not. It's
it's
not.
just all this ammo coming his way. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And in a way, he almost seems like he almost like is putting it on himself, but he almost seems like he doesn't realize it. You know what I mean? Like that he is feeding into some of the media shit with the fans and you know, but off the field, who gives a shit? I don't care if he's dating somebody famous or not or OnlyFans. It doesn't matter, man. You're a baseball player making a lot of money to play baseball. I hope that you take pride in your work on the field. That's your job, man. Your job is to play good baseball, get hits, whatever. I'm not expecting him to be perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's the way that he approaches it and doesn't take accountability for it that kind of irks me. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and that's why I just want him to just focus at this point. The story will go
Yeah.
away if you
We know
one
he's got
hit,
talent.
yeah, and you can't be clutch when you need to be. We've seen some clutch moments from him.
Mhm.
He's got it in him.
Of
Maybe now
course.
that's just the jitters are coming out. We're about to head into the third week of the season. Now we
Mhm.
can mean business and be
Yeah.
like our favorite player we never saw, bro, Mickey Mantle. He'd hit home runs, just put his
Yeah.
head down, all business,
Mhm.
and is a living legend. I'm not
I
saying Jazz
will
will be a
say
living legend, but at least do that Yankee way, even in a world where we feel the Yankees aren't um the Yankees right now with not being aggressive with the payroll,
Mhm.
not having guys become major stars except Judge for the most part. But this is a good chance to switch it up, shake it off, and run away with it.
Yeah, no, I dude, listen, I think we as fans, it's easy to make a big deal out of a small play in a long season or, you know, put blame on guys for small things, but um, you know, combining hitting 192 with saying, "Oh, it's too cold here," and then now no accountability on a boneheaded play to end the game on. And keep in mind, we're on a 5 game losing streak, so all these things kind of snowball, and they can kind of compound on each other and almost seem worse than they are. Now, if Jazz was hitting 285 with 3 home runs and he had 5 stolen bases and you know his numbers look better, I don't think he'd be taking flack at all. That's the
Nope.
thing about New York, though, man. We're expected to win. Yankees fans, we're hungry for a World Series, and
17
we
damn 16 damn years.
Exactly, and we see shit like this in April, and we say it's the same old fucking shit, man. Aaron
It's only
Boone not
17
pinch
years.
hitting. Aaron Boone doesn't want to use Goldie off the bench. He'd rather have you know, Randall Grichuk or isn't that and you know all this shit, dude. It's the same shit you see every year of just like you lose these very winnable games, and all I'm
Put
gonna say
yourself in a
about
bad
Jazz,
spot.
yeah, man. All I'm gonna say about Jazz is like I absolutely love when he is playing good baseball. He's fast. He's just what the Yankees need. Good mix of power and speed. You know, I love his energy. You don't see many Yankees, at least in the last few years, that are actually like have a really good personality off the field. You know, but it can come back to bite you. And you know, I want him to succeed and play well, but he's got to stop promising the world in terms of his ability and just go out there and play. I know this is a big year for him, right? Because it's an AAV year, right? They're going to assess his contract at the end of the year
Yeah, his
and his
contract
value.
ends this at the end of the season.
Right. So, dude, you know he wants to play well, and it sucks that he's gotten off to a bad start. But again, Matt, name me a single player on the Yankees right now that is tearing the cover off the baseball. There is none.
Not one. Maybe
Stanton
Ben Rice
was.
a little bit, but
Ben
none.
Rice, Ben Rice and Stanton and occasionally Judge have been hitting. But that's really I mean, Bellinger, I would say without Bellinger, and Rice and Stanton right now, the lineup's been really weak. So you can't just blame Jazz for not hitting baseball, but um, yeah, I hope he turns it around, and I hope he needs to get media trained better. I don't know, man. He just sucks to talk to the media sometimes.
It's time for you to have a good week, Jazz. And then let's talk about the other team in New York, the New York
Hmm.
Mets, also on a 5-game losing streak. Combined together, they are down. They are down bad. Lost 10 in a row between the two teams.
Damn.
But before the season started for the Mets, they look like a legit National League contender. Juan Soto, Bo Bichette, Francisco Lindor, a new rotation. And yet, 2.5 weeks in, they've lost 5 straight. They're under 500. Their biggest
Mhm.
stars are either hurt or making boneheaded plays themselves in Lindor and Juan Soto. Yeah, Juan Soto is currently on the is on the injured list. He
Mhm.
exited a road game against the Giants in the first inning last week, and that's a right calf strain. Trying to be careful there. He's sidelined for 2 weeks. And he has been hitting Endor since, and he's playing catch, so he'll probably come back. But yet, since Soto's been out, Mets have gone 3-4, and they look like a completely different team without him, bro.
They do, yeah.
And with Francisco Lindor, already some Met fans feeling some type of way with him. But a game against the Cardinals, Lindor forgot how many outs there were, and he winds up jogging off the field after a force out. And he himself called it inexcusable and said he forgot that there were only 2 outs. Um,
That's bad.
he also got picked off in that game, fiddling with his baseball, fiddling with his gloves, if you remember, and
I don't
then just
remember
got
that,
caught.
no.
And then this week
Dumbass.
against the A's, who completely own New York baseball, 6-0 against both New York teams. So how about the A's on that one?
No, the
Oh,
A's
sorry,
didn't
sorry.
sweep us. The
Sorry,
A's didn't sweep.
1-5 against the New
Yes,
York
thank you.
teams.
Thank you. We got one win against them. The Mets got swept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also both pulled off up shutouts against our offenses. But yeah, against the A's on Saturday, goes for a ground ball. He left second base completely uncovered, and what should have been a double play turned into a single, and that kept the rally going for the A's on that
I
one.
did, yeah, I did see that. That was really dumb on his part.
Yeah, so through 15 games, Lindor's only batting 167, 0 RBIs, the longest stretch of his career. So something similar with us with those two teams, man. We got an infielder who's up his own ass, it seems, and then our star players. Luckily, nobody's hurt on the Yankees, but
Yeah.
not missing
Luckily.
a major bat presence is a big deal with the Mets, and then Judge has been struggling. So, how about those Mets, bro? Even though we love to see it, but they're also really going through the struggle.
Yeah, the Mets are struggling, man. I mean, it doesn't help that their best player Soto's out, though. I mean, like you said, they haven't been the same team without him. Yeah, it's who would be? What if you put Soto on any team and then took him out? Obviously, they're going to be significantly worse. He's one of the best players in baseball.
Right.
But Bo Bichette, slow start. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited to see him in the Mets uniform and kind of see what he's gonna do over in Queens because Bo Bichette is a terrific baseball player. He's a really good player, and I was really hoping the Yankees would try to get him. I know it probably wasn't gonna happen, but seeing Bo Bichette in free agency was just like, oh my God, I was licking my chops thinking about it. Him in pinstripes. And yeah, he's been pretty underwhelming so far, but again, it's a long season, man. These guys, it takes a while for a lot of these guys to get going and start heating up. But yeah, man, the Mets, it is funny as well to see Luke Weaver and Devin Williams in Mets uniforms. I mean,
And they've been fucking up and struggling too.
yeah, yeah.
Enjoy it over there in Queens.
They've been struggling a little bit. I do know they've had some success as well, and I will say I miss Luke Weaver. I don't miss Devin Williams, but,
Huh. Yeah, he was a fun guy
um
to watch. Fun personality.
well, dude, it's crazy to think back to last year, and it's like we had Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, and David Bednar, and, Doval all in the same team. We had a nasty bullpen. The problem is the offense can't hit in October. You can't
Mhm.
use your best arms if you're never winning. We got dog walked by the Blue Jays.
Yeah. And that's why we need to win these games because that home
Mhm.
field advantage. Who knows where this team could have gone if they started the season in New York compared to Toronto. And that's why you need to win all these damn games, especially these
Yeah.
one-run games, so we don't have that. But that'll be another bridge to cross when we get there. But regardless, though, Mets.
Every game, man, it matters like crazy. And it's easy to once you get into September, it's like you really see the standings and you're like, shit, we're 2 games out of first or whatever. We're tied for a wild card, but like, it takes 140 games to get to that spot. So every
Yeah,
game really matters. That's why I don't, I watch and I try to follow every single Yankees game.
yeah, same.
Um, because you look back in September, you look, oh, look at this game in April. We're up 7-0. We lost 8-6 or 8-7 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like games like that, you're like,
Trash.
fuck. Like we really should have won that game. And hopefully the Yankees don't have a lot of those games this year where their bullpen just falls apart. But yeah, I think the Mets are still the best team in the NL East. I don't think Philly's really scaring anybody. They've had a little bit of trouble themselves. But yeah, I think the Mets are going to end up having a good year, and hopefully they'll make the playoffs for their fans. I'm not a Mets fan, but I hope they have some more success than they did last year because that fan base is just as tough on their team as Yankees fans. You
Yep.
know,
So we'll see where things go. We still, I mean, it's only week 3
yeah,
and we're gonna take this all the way to October. So anything can happen, but every game still does count at the end of the day. So let's look at some other things, my dude. Let's talk about some other things with this beautiful sport of ours that we love. Like talk about some special players, some new stars. It's always great to see a new star come up or a
yeah,
potential new star.
I
So
love
the
it.
Pittsburgh Pirates, bro, they did
Mm.
something crazy, even as the small market team they are. They signed their top prospect who made his MLB debut a couple weeks ago, Konnor Griffin. He was signed to a 9-year, $140 million contract, the largest in
Hey,
Pirates
yo, that's a
history,
huge deal.
richest contract ever given to a rookie.
Wow.
So deal's worth 140, largest guarantee for a player in his rookie season. That's
Mhm.
even more than Roman Anthony's getting paid right now, aka
Wow.
Noodle Arm. So he also can get that could go up to 150 million if he wins the MVP at in this time. So we got
Wait,
Griffin
so
and Ski. Mhm.
say that again. If he wins the MVP, he gets an additional how much?
Yeah, there's a incentive. Says right here, contract can push up to $150 million through incentives tied to MVP voting. No opt outs, no deferred money, just straight cash, homie.
So does that mean he can't could he not be traded in that span? What did
Oh,
you
he
say it
can
was a
still get traded. He
right,
just
right.
he just can't opt out
He
or
can't
anything.
opt out, but it's a 9-year contract?
Mhm. Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, good for him, man. He's 19 years old, hasn't even had a legal drink yet, and this kid's getting
I
100
know,
and
right?
whatever. That's
The
beautiful.
very number one overall prospect in all of baseball. And now have him team up with Paul Skeens.
That's exciting, man. That's something special. I think Pittsburgh is overdue for a playoff berth of some sort.
It'd be good for the game. And this was his numbers last year in
Mm,
3 levels of the minor leagues. 21
mhm.
home runs, a 333 batting average, 94 RBIs, 65 stolen bases,
Wow.
OPS of 527. So quickly looking at the stats right now, Konnor Griffin at this moment. Ba, 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 ba. So right now he is batting 138. He's got
How many at bats, Matt?
29 at bats, 4 hits,
Mhm.
3 runs in, and 4 RBIs. No home runs yet. It's a start. It's a start, though. I mean, obviously, it's 2 weeks into his whole career at 19
Right.
years old, so nothing to worry about. But if bro could really lock in and you know heat up as the season comes by, we might have a new star. He's definitely getting paid like one. So, what do
Oh
you think
yeah.
about that?
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. I love the fact that we're seeing kids like this come up and just big stars, big potential, potential to be a big star, I should say. Obviously, he's not a star yet, but the Pirates, it is interesting to see how different franchises handle big draft picks like this because a lot of them, it's essentially a gamble. Is this kid gonna pan out and end up being worth this contract? Who knows? But the Pirates think he is, and they're willing to give him a giant contract and try to lock him up for a while and build around him and Skeens. So I think it's great for the game, like you said, Matt, and I'm excited to see how he does. The Pirates certainly could use all the help they could get offensively.
Yeah,
We know
right.
that. So hopefully he can add to, and it is funny that the Pirates didn't start him on opening day at the major league level. What do you think is the reason for a club not to start a 19-year-old stud that they know, that they knew they're going to give this kid all this money on this big contract? They knew
Mhm.
that weeks and weeks ago. So my question is, why didn't they start him at the major league level on opening day? I know it doesn't make much of a difference. It's only a week later or whatever, but why do you think teams do that? I'm just
It's these
curious.
cheap owners who want to take as much service time as possible with the
I
minor
think,
league. I really think it comes
yeah,
to that. And hence
I think
why,
it's service time manipulation. Yeah.
yeah, hence why we know that there's a lockout looming. Hopefully they make
Mhm.
a deal, especially in the momentum because baseball's on the rise. Ratings are great. They're really having a bigger presence on social media. People
Mhm.
are paying attention more to, wagering in baseball is up. Baseball is in a great place, Alec, and we've been loyal to it this whole time. And it'd
It's
be
in a
pretty
great,
stupid if they would
yeah.
stop playing because they feel some type of way on manipulating finances and service time and salary cap and all of that shit.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying they did anything wrong. I just thought it
Yeah,
was interesting that they didn't start him at the major league level. But so what
he's here
position?
now
He's
though.
outfield, right? What is he? Center field, left field?
I think he's actually a shortstop.
Oh, you're right. He is a shortstop. I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
okay.
shortstop.
Yeah. Okay, so shortstop for the Pirates. Remember, so that's why they moved O'Neal Cruz to center field.
Exactly.
And he's been an absolute disaster out there in
Bro
center
has been
field.
struggling, especially against the Mets to start the season.
I remember seeing clips. It was like opening day, and he booted like 3 fly balls right
You
at
could have
him.
caught that, bro.
Oh my god. I mean, the sun's right in his eyes. But yeah, it is funny seeing O'Neal Cruz out there. O'Neal Cruz is like the rawest talent ever. The dude is strong as an ox, fastest player in baseball, or one of. But, sometimes, you just see him make these plays where you're like, what the hell? But I can't imagine going from shortstop in the major leagues to playing center field.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
a
big
big
responsibility. That's a
that's a
big
big
jump.
change, man. Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure he'll adjust. It's early and O'Neal Cruz. Yeah, I mean O'Neal Cruz, Paul Skeens, Connor Griffin.
That's a
They've
good
got
three-headed monster.
Brandon Lau too, who just hit a grand slam today. Um,
Uh-oh, Pirates are back?
Dude, the Pirates look good to start the season. I'm not even gonna lie. I think they could scratch and claw their way to not making the playoffs, but sniffing around that area. I think that they legitimately have a chance to have a decent record this year, bro. I really do. But I'll be interested to see how Connor Griffin does. First season in the big leagues is going to be a lot of growing pains, and I'm not expecting him to hit anywhere close to like 300 or anything like that. But we'll see what he's got for power and tools. I don't know much about him.
We will see. Time will tell, my dude. Time will tell. So let's talk about some things that have been interesting me in baseball. Some stats of the week. One segment we'll have. Excuse me. This season,
Yeah.
Mason Miller, bro, best closer in baseball already.
Oh my
He
God,
hasn't
he's unbelievable.
he hasn't allowed one run in his last 27 and a half innings. A streak that dates back to last year, the longest scoreless streak in all of baseball. I think I saw a stat with like he has more strikeouts than he's thrown balls. Bro comes in with that corn entrance music,
Oh my
and
God. Yeah.
he is a stud, bro. How we feel about Mason Miller? Someone the Yankees pussied out on getting last year.
I I mean every
We got that like Bednar, by the way, but I mean Mason Miller, man.
dude, unbelievable. By far the best closer in baseball. A lot of people are even I'm hearing whispers of a Cy Young voting,
Cy Young,
which is
okay,
unbelievable. And I
for
know
a
that
closer.
which is extremely rarefied territory. I don't
Yeah, it's
think
only like Dennis Eckersley's the last one who's done that.
I dude, I don't even know that I don't know the history of it. All I know is it's so hard to do that it's almost laughed at when people mention closers getting Cy Young votes, or at least winning the award, I should say, because he'll definitely get a couple of votes, but he's been
Oh, I got it.
absolutely
You remember? I'll give you a blast from the past. I'll tell you. The last. Try to guess this. You'll definitely be like, "Whoa!" when I say this. Tell me who.
Rodriguez.
No, it was not K Rod. The
Uh,
last, excuse me, the last reliever to win the Cy Young. It happened within the last 25 years. It's not K Rod. You want to take any more guess? You want any hints?
yeah, I want to take a guess. Give me a second here. Can you at least tell me? Well, it obviously wasn't Mariano. I know that.
Nah, no Mariano Rivera Cy Young Award winner.
Well, that's I think of the best closers of all time, and I think of K-Rod, obviously, Mariano. No, it wasn't, Papelbon.
All right, I'll tell you.
Wait,
Do
wait,
you want
wait.
any
Give
more
me,
hints?
yeah, give me a hint. Was he on the Brewers?
No, National League though. National League pitcher.
Okay, but actually, um, hmm.
Do you want me to give you the year?
Did he have a nasty cutter?
I don't remember.
Do you
Maybe
know his pitch mix? Because that would probably narrow it down more than. Yeah. Tell me the either the division he was in or the year.
the year is 2003.
Hmm. Okay. National League closer from 2003.
I feel if
Hmm.
I give you the division, you'll get it. Do you want it yet or
It's the NL Central, isn't it?
no?
Yeah, tell
You only
me.
have to NL West.
The NL West. Huh. It was not Trevor Hoffman, right? No.
No.
Honestly, I don't know. Just tell me at this point because I'm gonna be here all night.
I'll give you one more hint. He pitched for the Dodgers.
Damn, that's a team I don't like.
No.
Yeah. Oh, is Kenley Jansen? No, that wasn't great. No, no, no.
He was known for wearing glasses.
Okay. Damn. I'm bad at this. Holy shit. I thought I
I
would.
know for a fact I'll show you it, you're like, of
I know.
course.
I'm thinking of guys that wore glasses now, and I'm like Kyle Farnsworth. No.
Yo, that dude apparently is like a bodybuilder now.
Yeah, he is. He's jacked. No, dude, I'm
All
picturing
right.
him too. I think.
Do
I don't know.
you?
Dude. At this point, I honestly I don't even have any good guesses. I just want to know.
Okay.
Oh
All
God.
right.
So
You
this dude
ready?
won the Cy Young in
He won
'03.
the NL Cy Young in '03.
That's actually absurd. But dude, Mason Miller has a decent enough chance to do that if he fucking does this all season. And, unless like fucking, somebody goes 18-4 with like a 1.9 ERA or something crazy. But yeah, Mason Miller, it seems like every year, the last like few years, there's a new like best closer in the league.
I know, right?
But right now, no doubt in my mind, it's obviously Mason Miller. And it is funny that the A's dumped him
The
and now he's on
freaking
the
A's.
podcast. Dude, if the A's had Mason Miller, their lineup is actually really good on paper. Their
Oh yeah.
lineup is very good. Their rotation is another story, but Luis Severino, man. I don't know if Miguel Andujar is still on the A's, but he was on them last year.
By the way, Alec, do you
Mhm.
remember Eric Gagne?
Oh, of course, dude. He
Eric
won the what the
Gagne
fuck? I would have
was the
never
last
guessed.
NL Cy Young Award
You're
winner
kidding me.
as a reliever.
Bro, I would have never guessed that. That motherfucker won the Cy
See
Young.
right there, 2003
Wow.
for the Dodgers. Eric Gagne.
Are you sure he wasn't a starter converted to a reliever?
He did stay, began his career as a starter, then became a reliever after that, but won as a reliever. He had
Wow.
84 scoreless innings. That's the record. 84
80 wait,
consecutive.
whoa, 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 whoa. He had 84 scoreless innings.
Sorry. 84 consecutive save opportunities that he completed.
Oh my god. That's actually absurd. Holy fuck. Not in one season though, right?
Span of 2 seasons in
I was like,
'03 to
God
'04.
damn, this guy's
But yeah, went
amazing.
84 for 84.
Now my question is, I don't know if you have the answer. Did the Dodgers make a deep run that year in the playoffs? Because I know that was the year. Um, Actually, I don't know what happened in '03, but
The 2003 Dodgers did not make the playoffs.
ooh, so he won the
Just
Cy
fell
Young.
short. They won 83 games and finished second in the NL West, but they didn't win the wild card that year. Only one wild card team.
Damn. So bro won the Cy Young on a losing team. That's tough. But that is, dude, that's a fun fact right there. So is he the only closer to ever win the Cy Young?
The only other one was Dennis Eckersley,
Which was
Oakland
in
A's.
what, the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, late
90s.
80s. Late
Okay.
80s, early 90s. But yep, that's what I have for that. So Mason
Here's
Miller's
here's
been
my
on
hot
a
take. Here's my hot take. David Bednar will win the Cy Young in 2030. No, I'm kidding.
hey, we have it here on record.
Right, right. No.
But man, the Dodgers though, they've already won 10 games, first to 10 games, Max
Mhm.
Muncy walk off. Jose Ramirez, bro. He has now the franchise record of 16 for 1,620 career games, the most ever by a Guardian slash Indian. And he
Wow.
has now hit a home run against all 29 other MLB teams. No one in the Indian slash Guardians has ever done that. And how about this dude Drake Baldwin? A hot
He's been
start
balling.
for the Braves, sitting 321 through 13 games, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, and he leads the league in both of those categories.
Dude, that man's been balling. Drake Baldwin, he's
Drake
nasty, dude.
Baldwin. What
Yeah,
do you like about him?
he's just hits, he mashes the baseball, bro. Every time I check a box score, I just see Drake Baldwin, Drake Baldwin. The dude's hitting the shit out of the baseball. That's all I know about him is that he's a great hitter. That's all I've heard is just this dude is balling right now. Um, and that's all. I don't know much else about him. I don't know how old he is, or is he a rookie? What is he? I don't know much about him.
So for Drake Baldwin, it says here he knows you, Alec. He said he fucks with you heavy. No, I'll say it. So he's a second year player. His rookie year was last year, and he won rookie of the year last year in the National League. So
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
maybe we got something going here. And he is the catcher for the Braves too. These catchers, bro, they're
I
starting to
know
make
yeah, I knew he was a catcher. I didn't know he won Rookie of the Year last year, bro. He
Yeah,
wa
right?
he Yeah, that's crazy.
So watch out for Drake Baldwin. And the last thing I want to talk about, Ali, before we wrap things up as we hit the hour mark, let's talk about some of these teams as a whole. We talked about the Mets and the Yankees, but some standing surprises, if you will. First, the Seattle Mariners. They made
Mm.
the ALCS last year, and they're arguably one of the worst teams in baseball right now.
They're not hitting at all, Matt. It's actually horrifying. Being a Mariners fan would be a horrifying experience
Ha!
because they have a lot of talent, they never do anything, and
With
every
the
single year
stupid dumper. I hate that nickname.
Big Dumper, man. He stunk it up in the World Baseball Classic, and now here he is. Granted, Joe Adele did rob 3 home runs, which I think is what gets. That was an unbelievable. I mean, Max Muncy. This is why we love baseball, man. Max Muncy hits 3 home runs. Joe Adele robs 3 home runs. The Mariners lose 1-0 to the Angels. Imagine, imagine going out to play a baseball game, Matt, and your teammates have 3 home runs robbed from you, and you lose 1-0.
Be
That's
pissed.
baseball. I love this sport. But yeah,
I know. I
The
live for
Mariners,
this.
right, dude? I mean, in what other sport could you do everything perfectly and you just get robbed of a home run? You got to jog back to
Right?
the dugout and just hope that, you'll do better next time. How hard is it to hit a home run in the major leagues? The best players in the world can hit 30, 40, 50, and that's like maybe a dozen players in the whole world or 2 dozen, and it's like, having a home run rob gotta be a horrible feeling because you only get so many opportunities to hit a home run, um, on balls that are hit hard. So, it's just funny. But yeah, the Mariners, dude, they're struggling hard. But I still think they're gonna win the NL or the AL West. Houston hasn't looked great. We all know
Yeah.
the Angels aren't gonna do it. The Rangers could be a sneaky pick for an AL West win
And
division.
the Astros been struggling. They've had some players hit, like Walker, Altuve, and Cam Smith, all hitting above 300, but it's the
Mhm.
pitching that's been killing them.
Yes.
And it's the Pirates have been pretty solid as well. But the one
Yeah.
other team to make fun of, dude, the Boston Red Sox, who
Atrocious.
atrocious. Seeing people say sell the team. Roman Anthony really exposing himself as an outfielder with his arm strength. Now all of these 29 other teams know to hit it to left field, and bro's not only he doesn't have the arm strength, he's not accurate.
No, I know, but dude, I don't know what's funnier, the fact that the Red Sox over the years have let go Mookie Betts, Rafael Devers, Chris Sale, Alex Bregman. I could go on and on and on. But the fact that their star franchise player, this young guy, Roman Anthony, they're now coming to find out that he's pretty much a career DH, man.
Ah, already this early in his career?
I mean, dude, unless he's injured or he's hiding an injury, there's no chance in hell a major league team is gonna let him start every day in the outfield with an arm like that. And I don't know, I think he's hurt because there's no shot that that's how bad his arm is. I saw that throw up the third baseline against the Brewers. They were playing the Brewers the other night.
Yep.
And yeah, a ball gets hit past the shortstop into left field. He fields it and throws it about 12 feet up the third baseline. Yeah, it went behind the catcher and like 2 runs scored. And it's just like a clown show every night in Boston. You know what I mean? Get your
That
tickets. The
was the
circus is in town. We got Trevor Story, who's like, the most washed up has been. His days are behind him. They got him in the 3 hole. They've got all these, the Reds,
Storyland my ass, bro.
right? I mean, and then they're paying Ranger Suarez like $120 million to go out there and give up 6 runs in 4 innings against the Cardinals. And the Red Sox, dude, I wanna say they're gonna be terrible, but we both know they're gonna go on some insane winning streak and win like 14 out of 20 or 15 out of 20, and, they're gonna be one of those teams that you don't really wanna play because they're scrappy, but, you get Ranger Suarez, you got Garrett Crochet, you got Sonny Gray, you've got Brian Bayo, I should say, not Bello, it's Brian Bayo. Brian Bayo. They have a formidable rotation, and they have a decent lineup, but I would put the Rays, Orioles, Blue Jays, and Yankees lineups when healthy above the Red Sox. So
Mhm.
I think the Red Sox, if they want to be playing baseball this October, need to rely on that rotation and their bullpen and hope Aroldis Chapman has a good year like he did last season. And you count on your hitters, but I don't see them making the playoffs. I really don't. I don't think they're a dog shit team like they've been playing. But I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't see unless they add bats. That lineup is never going to survive 162 games, dude.
Yeah, and they lost Bregman to the R Cubs too. That's gonna major
Yeah,
hole in the lineup. Devers.
dude.
It's hilarious, and I love seeing the implosion.
Yeah, the other thing is like that they added this guy Caleb Durbin and they got rid of this guy Kyle Harrison who's been dealing on Milwaukee and
Good.
Durbin's hitting like 080. And I live in New England now, so all I hear is Red Sox this and that, Red Sox radio. So I hear all the dirt on these guys
Mhm.
and they're tough, man. They're tough. When the Red Sox don't play good, I hear it all over the radio and it makes my day. I'm driving to work and I just hear, Trevor Story goes 0 for 4 again and Caleb Durbin. I love it, dude. I
Yeah,
eat it
between
right up.
that and then
I
the shit
lap it
going
up.
on with Mike Vrabel with the Patriots and that mess that's going on.
Oh, that mess. Yeah, dude. I lap all that news right up because nothing makes me happier as a New York sports fan than turning on the radio and just hearing Boston fans complain about their team being shit. That makes my day. So, yeah, the Red Sox, I think they'll turn it around. We both know that they're a decent team. It's just a matter of righting the ship. And, last week you look, we're 7-2, they're like 2-7. Right now, they're 6-9 and we're like 8-8 or 8-7. So it's like things can change quickly. You got to be humble in this game, Matt. It's a long season and you can never get too high or too low because things can change within a week. We
That's
see it
right.
every year. Every year, man. You gotta stay cool and, you gotta hope that things turn around, but I think one last thing we should talk about is when do the Yankees call up Jason Dominguez and say, "Hey, do you want your job back in the outfield?"
Yeah, man, he's been doing nothing but hit down in
Yeah,
AAA. It's just the fielding you hope that he's improving.
yeah.
And I don't think there's been any egregious errors or anything like that.
But dude,
And
there's a designated hitter position for a reason.
I know, right?
Why
That's just the
why
one
are
thing with having so many DHs on this team, though, with Stanton and Judge and him and Ben Rice.
I
That's the one
know.
thing. Imagine if there was a rule they added 10 batters now, you get a second DH. But no, you
Yeah,
can't do
right.
that.
Just start changing all the rules up. Why don't just have your whole bench hit? Just hit like 13 hitters a night. Fuck it.
Like
Let's just
Little
change the
League.
rule. I think the other thing that we should talk about, unless you want to wait till next week, is the ABS system and what your early thoughts
Yeah.
are on that, dude, because that's kind of
Let's
a
do
big
that
deal.
really quick. Let's talk
Yeah.
ABS really quick,
What are
and
your
then
thoughts?
we'll wrap it up. The ABS system is really interesting to me.
Hmm.
I mean, I do think there is a small part of me that really doesn't like it because I like the human element, if you
Right.
will, with these umps. But a lot of games have been screwed over from the umps as well,
Right.
especially lately. So you feel baseball is backed in the corner and had no choice but to do this.
Mm.
But ultimately, I think it's cool. I went to Yankees Marlins last Saturday, and so seeing that live for the first time was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Tap the helmet, and they show right on the big screen just how close, and it's literally, even if it's a centimeter off,
They know.
they will make the right call.
Right.
So
Even if it clips the zone, which I thought was interesting. I thought the
yeah,
baseball had to be at least halfway in the zone
you'd think,
in
but no,
order
you
to
need
be.
Just hit that little corner and you're okay.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
ultimately, it's bittersweet for sure to me
Mm.
because I do think the human element's what makes the game what it is. But it is
I
pretty
agree.
fun to see it in person, and you just make sure you better get it right. Like we saw Ben Rice mess up on an
Mm.
ABS that was clearly off, and then
Yeah,
pissed off
you
the ump.
see it. I mean, you see players get it wrong all the time early,
Yeah,
and over the course of the season, it'll be so cool to look at some of the data as to how accurate certain players are with ABS because you know they're tracking all of that.
yeah.
Um,
They're putting it into their routines. You also
mm,
know how tall or small people actually are. I think what's it
yeah.
either Gavin Lux was the one or Gavin
It
Chase?
was Gavin Lux that shrunk like 3 inches or 4
Yeah,
inches. Yeah, on the range. He went from like
hilarious.
6 foot to like 5'9" or something like that. Yeah.
Great, that's crazy work.
Right.
But it also holds the umps accountable too, and
Mhm.
you kind of it. This is their chance to either enhance their influence
Mhm.
or drop it down. Like for instance, if you have this guy, he has a 99.5% accuracy rate, then you're kind of excited that he'll be behind the plate. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I
Or
agree,
you
and
could be
it's
who's that guy, CJ something who had 8 blown calls. Then it shows how
yeah.
bad some other people are as well.
I did notice that. I was gonna mention there was one umpire in the first few games of the year that missed, some really, really blatantly obvious calls that were balls that he called
Yeah.
strikes, and I think it's such an interesting rule change that we don't see it in any other sport where you get such a crazy new rule change that's implemented that I genuinely do think is better for the game, but it also like part of me with the old school feeling of like baseball, like you said, there's a human element to it. I don't want to necessarily see AI and these robots take over. But robot umps, a lot of people used to say robot umps, robot umps. Well, now you have robot umps, so
Yeah. You got what
you
you
can't.
wish for.
Right, and but imagine Matt, you go into work tomorrow, and there's a robot literally double checking your work. That's how umpires felt coming into this season. It's a lot of added. I would imagine it would be somewhat stressful to have 40, 50,000 fans looking at how you did at your job. And that's how umpires feel. And I think they've received it very well. But I can't imagine, dude, calling a 9 inning baseball game, a major league baseball game. Guys are throwing 100 miles an hour. Imagine trying to pinpoint exactly every batter's strike zone, and there's gonna be mistakes, but I do like you said, there's a human element to the game that makes umping really unique to baseball. Different guys have different zones and this and that, so I think ABS ultimately will be the best for extremely high leverage games. Like imagine it's game 6 of the ALCS, right? The Yankees are playing the Red Sox. It's 3 games to 2. Boston's ahead 3 games to 2. It's game 6 of the ALCS. It's a 1-0 ball game. Yankees are winning. It's the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. The Yankees are on the road. Red Sox are batting. There's 2 strikes, and they're using ABS, right? On a strike 3 call looking, and it ends up getting overturned. Yankees win the game, force a game 7.
That'd be
Right,
so
right. So
awesome.
you no, but
Makes sense.
you can
It
picture
it
it now,
could,
dude,
yeah.
in the playoffs where these calls are gonna be absolutely massive. And you know baseball, Matt, enough to know that every strike is extremely crucial in every at bat.
Oh, yeah, especially in the
You
playoffs when it
know?
matters the
Dude,
most.
yeah. Imagine going from a 2-1 count to either a 2-2 count or a 3-1 count is the biggest pitch in baseball, in my opinion. Either going to a 3-1 count where you can sit fastball. If there's runners on base, you can drive runs in, you can get a sac fly. Going from either a 3-1 count to a 2-2 count where you have to protect with 2 strikes. The casual fans do not realize how big every single fucking pitch is in a baseball game. If it's a 2-1 count and you get a ball, you're sitting dead red on a fastball.
Mhm.
So it's just little shit like that. But yeah, I like the ABS so far, and hopefully, it'll benefit everybody going forward.
And I
And
think it will.
I'm amazed too at how quick it is, dude. It's like
Yeah, it
10
does go
seconds.
through the kid. That is really
Yeah,
cool. Again, another thing in
yeah.
person, and it just hypes up the crowd some more or whatever.
Mhm.
So let's embrace this change and enjoy it. But Alec, I enjoyed every second of this, and I know
Me too,
everyone
bro.
listening and watching did as well. We'll see you next week with another conversation, hopefully a more positive one to our Yankees, a more negative one to the Mets and Red Sox and other teams we hate. But ultimately,
Amen.
though, let's have another great week of baseball to talk about 7 days from now. You, the man,
Amen.
Alec Reeves.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, bro. Good talking ball with you, man. I look forward to doing it again next week, man.
All the love. And again, don't forget, also available on this feed, we have a reaction to the Masters. Rory wins his second straight Masters tournament. On Tuesday, we also have a preview of the NBA postseason. We will do a playoff preview with faces. And on Tuesday, we will also have a regularly scheduled tweet cap to talk about what was trending over the weekend. Then we finish off the week on Friday to discuss what was happening during the week ahead. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. That's the great Alec Reeves. And we'll be all together again a week from now to talk more baseball. See you later.
Go Yankees.
Hell yeah.